Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back online again with another live stream. It's been a while since I've been really active here on YouTube. Because, it takes a lot to move to a new country and start a new job, and just been really busy. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of things now, trying to find a new rhythm for doing uploads and live streams. So it's going to be the best time for me to do live streams, at least Fridays in America, which would be Saturday here in Thailand. I think that's how it works because I am 12 hours ahead and it's Saturday morning here. Anyways, probably is going to be kind of hard for people in Europe to follow my live streams, but maybe I'll switch it up and try to find a good time for multiple regions. So I didn't really have anything planned for today. I figured I would just sit down and do a live stream and talk about whatever comes up. So hopefully a few people join the live stream here. Hopefully I didn't pick a time where everyone is in bed or out partying. But anyways, I've been having a really good time here in Thailand so far. Been learning Thai, practicing quite a bit. I try to practice for at least like an hour every day. I have 2 Thai lessons a week as of right now. One online with an italki tutor and another with a Thai teacher at the school that I work at. And possibly starting a 3rd Thai lesson. So that would be 3 Thai lessons a week, starting maybe next week. Not sure about that one yet. But it's actually been harder than I expected to immerse myself in Thai in Thailand, because I work mainly with Americans and natives, very few of whom speak Thai. So we just hang out in English all day long. And then on weekends, I'm hanging out with Americans. So it's hard. It's hard to immerse yourself in Thai. I am looking for opportunities. I look for opportunities as much as possible to just live my life in Thai. So on Sundays, I've been going to a Thai church, and I don't understand anything unless there's a translator, which there isn't always. But then afterwards, they serve lunch, and then you go and hang out, and then I have just a bunch of Thai people to practice Thai with. And then sometimes they do like small groups afterwards, and we'll go to someone's house and play games. And there's this game called Spot It, I think. Is that the name of the game? Let me look it up on my iPad. There's a game called Spot It. And essentially the name of the game is, you have all these cards with different images in it. Spot It game. You have these cards with different images, and you play these cards down. Yeah, this is a game. Okay, so you might not really be able to see that well on my iPad, but there's all these different circular cards, and they have a picture of the moon, picture of a chess piece or a horse, picture of cheese, picture of a carrot. And the point of the game is you play a card, and then, anyone plays a card. You can play a card when you see the same image on your card as one of the images on the last card image that was on the card that was the same. I first played this for the first time actually at NASC a month or 2 ago, the Esperanto convention, summer school. And that was easier because I speak Esperanto. But this past Sunday, I was trying to play this game in Thai, and I only knew, I knew how to say cheese, I knew how to say hand, I knew how to say horse, and that was it. I didn't know how to say moon, I didn't know how to say tree, I didn't know how to say sun or ice or snowman in Thai. I don't think they even have a word for snowman in Thai. They don't have snow here. So it was a learning experience, but that's the best way to learn languages, in my opinion. We were hanging out in an informal setting. It wasn't a class. It wasn't a teacher. And I just had these cards, and I kept asking the person next to me, how do you call this? What's this one called? How do you say horse? How do you say tree? How do you say, key or clock, or just all the different items that were on the list. And it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And everyone there was like super willing to help me. I was meeting most of them for the first time. So that was a lot of fun. So that's one way that I've been trying to immerse myself in the Thai language. Of course, that's only on Sundays. My Thai teacher that I talked to, during my Thai lesson this past week, my Thai teacher told me that there's a group of like Thai teachers from my school. My school is mostly English teachers, but they also have Thai class. And so my teacher, who was a teacher at the school, but she teaches me as well. Am I living in Thailand? Yes, I do live in Thailand. I've been living here for about a month, a little more than a month. Anyways, my teacher told me that there's a weekly badminton game by the other Thai teachers at the school, and they meet to play badminton on Wednesdays. And badminton is not something that I'm particularly interested in. I'm not even entirely sure I've ever played badminton, but I was invited to interact with a bunch of Thai people, right? Probably to the exclusion of other Americans. So that's an opportunity that I just have to jump on, because it's hard to find opportunities. As weird as it sounds, it's hard to find opportunities to hang out with only Thai people and not American people. So far, I'm sure as time goes on, I'll meet a lot more Thai people and it'll become easier. But like all of my coworkers, for the most part, that I can talk to are American, and the ones that I know and hang out with are American. So it's like I can't just go up to a random person on the street and ask them to be my friend. Or I guess I could. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that, though. Saluto and Mateo. It's going really well. I'm enjoying my time here in Thailand. Yeah, like when I lived in El Salvador, most of my friends were Salvadoran, and a lot of them spoke no English or very, very little English. So immersing myself in Spanish in El Salvador was easy, because like I kind of just, last summer, since I was studying, like you would think if you go to a foreign country to study that language, it would just be easy to immerse yourself in that language. It was weird. It was a weird situation because I went with a group of people from my university in Wisconsin, and I had the highest level of French out of anyone in that group from my university. But we went to study at a different university in Paris, and we all took placement tests, and I was the only one from my school that placed into the upper level class. So all of my friends from America that I was coming with, I wasn't in class with them. And I got placed into a class with a bunch of other people that were in the upper. They were all really nice, and we spoke French together in class, but I never hung out with them outside of class. And now looking back, I wish I would have, because it probably would have been easier to hang out and speak French with them outside of class. And then my friends that I did hang out with, the friends that were from my school, their French really wasn't at high enough of a level for us to speak French to each other. And so we ended up speaking mainly English, almost exclusively English. The only person that I really spoke French with, I guess there was two people, because there was two professors from my school in Wisconsin who came, and then I spoke French with them quite a bit. But otherwise, it was hard. It's hard to immerse yourself in other languages, especially if you're an English speaker. Because like when I was in Spain on the Camino de Santiago, you know, I was expecting, you know, you're walking through the countryside of Spain. You're not going through, there's a few big cities on the way, but it's mainly the rural Spain. And you're just walking through Spain the whole summer, or half the summer at least. And I thought it was going to be really easy to get immersed in Spanish. But the problem is, almost everyone on the Camino speaks English. Like everyone who's actually walking the Camino, that's just the language you speak, is English. You know, and sometimes as you're walking, you'll run into like a French guy and a German girl and like a Korean guy, and then the three of you will hang out for a day, or you'll go out and get dinner together, but you speak English. Like it doesn't even if there was no American in the mix, if it's like a Swede and a German and a Spaniard and a, you know, together. So I can't complain because it's, you know, it makes life easy as a traveler when everyone speaks your language. But at the same time, like I want to practice other languages. So, you know, it's nice as well as frustrating. C. Caleb Santos says, hello from Brazil. Oi! It's one of the only things I know how to say in Portuguese. Thanks for joining. I'm experimenting with new live stream times because, oi, yeah. Okay, how do I say? Bom dia. Or, no, boa noite. They're in Thailand. Tudo bem com você? I don't know how to speak Portuguese. Tudo bem. Obrigado. Yeah, so I'm experimenting with new times for live streams. And it's just crazy that I can have a conversation in Portuguese and I don't speak Portuguese. Okay, agora é boa noite aqui. I don't know what agora means. Agora é boa noite. Okay, yeah. So anyways, I'm experimenting with new live stream times because I can't do them on Friday mornings because I work on Friday. Agora is now. Oh, it's like ahora in Spanish. Okay. I can't do live streams on Friday mornings here because I work, but realistically that wouldn't be a good time anyways because Friday mornings here would be Thursday nights in America. I guess that wouldn't be so bad. I could potentially do live streams on Thursday and Friday nights here, which would be Friday mornings in America, which would be the same time as what I normally used to do live streams. But the problem is then I can't go out and do stuff on Friday nights, which I want to. Oh my goodness. Last night, two of my friends, and somehow they got free tickets to this like really fancy seafood restaurant in Bangkok, and they took me out. And you guys, this was like it was an all-you-could-eat seafood buffet, and it was so fancy. It was like the fanciest restaurant I've ever been to, and it was so good. They had these like whole lobsters that you could just pile onto your plate. You just could take as many lobsters as you want, and they had like huge prawns. And what else did they have? Like crab, and they had Australian steak, and man, it was good. But I wanted to do a live stream, but then they invited me to that, and I was like, oh, I gotta go to this. So anyways, you know, I'm still moving in, settling, trying to figure things out. Not getting a whole lot of traffic on this video yet, so maybe Saturday mornings my time, Friday nights American time isn't that good. Yeah, it makes sense because Friday nights people are out doing stuff in America, and then people in Europe are sleeping. So, what time is it in Brazil right now? If you're still there, I've practiced listening my English with your videos. Awesome. Glad to hear my videos are helping people. Maybe Saturday nights? Yeah, it's almost 11 p.m. Well, so people should be home. But that also means that people on the East Coast, oh wait, what time is it here? Yeah, I don't know. Normally I get more viewers than this. It's hard to have a live stream hangout when there's not too many people, but it's okay. At least I'm learning some Portuguese. Agora é boa noite aqui. Oh yeah, so C. Caleb Santos says, I have practiced listening my English with your videos. Yeah, it's a weird thing being a YouTuber. At first, when I started YouTubing, I was just making videos specifically for my students because I was teaching English and Spanish. And so I would just make like video lessons for my students. And then after a while, I just kind of started talking about like my, Charity Scott says, you're so intelligent and bright. Thank you. I don't know how to take compliments on YouTube. Thank you though. Your material are awesome. I appreciate that. At first I was just making videos for my students on like video lessons for my students because I was teaching Spanish and English. And then I started talking about like my philosophy with language learning and just like things that have worked for me and stuff. And, you know, just my preferred methods of learning. But I was just like this guy sitting in his bedroom making videos, you know, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, somewhere along the line, people started like commenting on my videos saying like, I use your YouTube videos in my class. And then I'm like, oh my goodness. So now there's like whole classes of people, like classrooms full of students watching my videos. And it's just a weird feeling. Or like, being a YouTuber is weird because it's kind of like public speaking, especially when you're live streaming, because you know people are watching. But at the same time, it's kind of like talking to an empty room because I'm the only one here. But also, like when you're public speaking, you can see the audience in front of you. And if there's 1,000 people, then you might feel nervous because you know there's 1,000 people watching you. But when you're a YouTuber and you're doing a live stream and you see there's 5 people watching, like there is right now, it's like, okay, that's more like a group conversation with friends. You know, you're just having a conversation. But then, oh my gosh, I should have been way more nervous because it's like public speaking to a crowd of 40,000 people. And I made a fool of myself. Like sometimes I'll be sitting here like, I don't know, just doing weird stuff. I'll be sitting here like eating and being a slob in the middle of my video. And then I go back and I realized, I was like, that's literally like sitting on a stage eating and like just being a dork in front of 40,000 people. So yeah, YouTubing, live streaming is weird. It's fun though. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I meet a lot of really cool people. I've made so many friends like online via the internet and via YouTube and like Instagram and stuff since I've started trying to be part of this language learning community. Okay, so half Spanish, half American Spanish. What is your opinion about gender neutral pronouns? That's a charged topic. My opinion about gender neutral pronouns is that generally speaking, so in languages you have closed class of words and open classes, meaning like there's some types of words like nouns and adjectives where like you can just add a new word to a class. So like Wi-Fi wasn't a word 30 years ago, and then you just add a new word. There's a new noun. So with nouns, you're able to do that. Just come up with a new noun, and it's easy and it's fine. Google wasn't a verb, and then we added the verb Google. There's other classes where it's harder to do that. Sometimes it feels unnatural, like to try to add a new pronoun. So if you're talking about gender neutral pronouns like Z and zer, it's going to be really hard to convince people to start using these words if you're trying to convince others to do so. Now, we do sort of have a gender neutral pronoun already built into English, and that's they, which that's controversial too, because a lot of grammar Nazis will say, no, they is only for the plural. But it's not, because, like, for example, in my English class, if someone turns in a paper without their name on it, that's exactly what I would say. Someone turned in a paper without their name on it. And it's one person, they. So there are situations where they is singular in English without any gender. So it's gender neutral and singular. It's not exactly the same way that people are using it, or trying to use it now, because you would only use the word they in that sense if you don't know the gender, but their name on it, only because I don't know a girl. Like if it looks like a girl's handwriting, then I'll probably say someone turned in a paper without her name on it. Now, of course, language evolved naturally, and usually trying to force a language to evolve doesn't work. People just resist. People use language however they want to use language. So, if people start using gender neutral pronouns, and if it catches on, then that's just the way the language will be. But people also resist trying to change the way they speak the language. So I don't know how it's going to go, but that's at least some food for thought on the subject. Matthew says, haha, yeah, that does seem like it would be a bit weird. I think talking about being a YouTuber with 40, like, yeah, it's so weird. Here, like, all of you guys are going to be famous too, because, you leave comments here on the live stream, and then all of a sudden there's 15,000 people watching the video. It's just weird. Like, it starts off as a conversation between friends online, and then all of a sudden it's public. Jorge, Rafa. I don't know why I always call you Jorge on YouTube. Rafa says, Saluto Narono, mi felices que mi trafis bien recta en el sendon. Kiel vi, mi fartas bone. Ege bone, mi ege amas Thailandon. Yeah, I'm experimenting with new live stream times, because I used to always do live streams Friday morning in America, which was weird because a lot of people work on Friday, but it was really the only time that I had available to do it. Now I could still do it at the same time, except Friday nights. So I'm doing it on Saturday morning, so that people in America can watch it on Friday nights. And I'm not sure yet how it's going to work out. This live stream started off really slow. I was like sitting in my room talking to myself for at least the first 5 minutes with no viewers. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep trying it out, keep experimenting with live stream times and see what works best for most people. The other problem is that if I do it at this time, I'm pretty sure viewers in Europe are sleeping, so they will be excluded from the party. Okay, I'm missing a lot of stuff. Although to be fair, I'm sure there are streamers out there with a ton of views that eat and stuff on the stream. Yeah, there are live streamers who do really good stuff. while streaming, and it's not it's not a big deal. I don't really care if there's 40,000 people watching me eat stuff. On my some of my all day live streams where I like learned German all day, I like I'm live streaming all day long, so I had to buy lunch beforehand, and sometimes I would go to the grocery store and buy a bag of peppers and just like snack on them, and people would always comment like, "What kind of monster eats raw peppers right out of the bag?" Because I wouldn't like even put anything on them; I would just like eat them. But I don't know, I thought it was good. Yeah, because it's like hanging out with friends, and that's a pretty normal thing. Yeah, exactly. Live streaming is like hanging out with friends, people commenting back and forth. That's pretty normal until you go back and look and see that, thousands of people have viewed your conversation with your friends. It's just, it's not, it's just weird. It's like, it's a weird feeling, and I'm not quite used to it yet. Especially when like, there are like, well, especially with like my linguistics videos, because a lot of people have, I just started making linguistics videos because I thought like I'm interested in linguistics and I want to talk about it. And then people started commenting on my videos like, I use your videos to study for my tests. And then it kind of like sunk in like, oh man, this is real. Like, I have to really be serious about making sure I'm 100% accurate with all my information. Because like people are using my videos to study. And I didn't realize up until then, like, at that point I was like, man, I really have a responsibility to not just take this lightly, but I have to like be serious about this, because like someone might fail their linguistics exam because I said something wrong on my video. All right. Charity Scott says, I watched your video about the scientific study of language. It blew me away. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. My Linguistics 101 videos. To me, some things just need categories, labels, titles, etc. I don't know why humanity takes offense to it. I assume that's talking about the gender neutral pronouns debate. Some things just need categories, labels, etc. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what that comment was in reference to. Rafa says, so I finally finished Pinker's The Language Instinct. What other book about linguistics do you recommend? Yeah, The Language Instinct is great. What other books do I have about it? So if you're interested in like linguistics, this was my linguistics book for my very first linguistics class in college, and it's very basic. Like, it's quite a bit more basic than my Linguistics 101 videos. So for people who like just want something easy to digest, and it is a textbook, so like there is, you are learning actual linguistics stuff that you would learn in a linguistics class, and there's like, there's exercises and everything. But it's not difficult. Like, some people told me that my Linguistics 101 videos are starting to go over their head. And I was trying to keep it as basic as possible, but then the nerd in me started to run free, and it got more complicated. This book is great for anyone who wants basic linguistics. The other one, oh yeah. Do I have it here? Yes, I brought it. Okay. This is another book that I would recommend to anyone. It's called The Art of Language Invention. And it's about conlanging, but it's interesting to anyone whether or not you're interested in conlangs. Okay, conlangs being constructed languages or artificial languages. It's written by the guy who he was a linguistics major, or he is a linguist. And he was hired to write the Dothraki language and the High Valyrian language for Game of Thrones. So those are actual full languages that you can learn on Duolingo, and he invented them. And he talks about all the linguistics that goes into how he created those languages. And it's a really interesting book. And this was the first book I ever read about the subject of linguistics. Like, even though he's not actually analyzing real languages, he talks about how real languages are, or what, he does analyses of real languages, and he talks about how he applies that real world linguistics to his artificial languages. And it's super interesting. And he's hilarious. Like, this is not a textbook. You're getting like textbook type information, but in a really funny way. So I highly recommend that book too. Okay, what's the best way to get the advanced level in English? I am intermediate in English, I guess, and I don't like to get to and I'd like to get to the total fluency. Yeah, like, that's the question, isn't it? Like, how do you improve yours? Yeah, like, I mean, there's a whole bunch of schools of thought. There's all kinds of theories, and if you talk to Steven Pinker or Stephen Krashen, then the way to improve your language your learning is by listening and reading comprehensible input. If you talk to Ben Lewis, then the way to improve your language is just by speaking as much as possible to anyone who will listen. I kind of fall in between those two. I think speaking is really important, like having relationships with people and just going out on a limb and sometimes making a fool of yourself and taking risks with the language, but having fun with it is really important. According to the research, at least the research done by Krashen, reading books in your target language and listening to audio, like listening to spoken language, as long as you can understand most of it, like understand 90 to 95% of it, is the key, or like even 98%, according to some studies. So keep working at it, keep listening, keep talking to people, keep reading. You just got to do it a lot. Hello from Brazil. Do you have interest to learn Portuguese in the future? Portuguese is not like one of the languages that I have a strong desire to learn, but it is one of the most spoken languages in the world. And I would really like to go to Brazil someday. So I'm not saying that like I have a really strong desire to learn it, but I imagine someday I'll probably try learning Portuguese. I did Portuguese last year before I went to Portugal. And that was fun. I enjoyed it. It's close enough to Spanish to make it pretty easy. All right. David Peak says, hey, man, how is life in Thailand? Nice to see you streaming again. Yeah, I know I haven't been streaming for a while. I still don't have Wi-Fi in my apartment, so I'm still streaming off of the hotspot on my phone. I am in the process of getting internet, though, so hopefully it'll be this week that I can actually start regularly streaming again. It's going great. I'm loving Thailand. It's like I really love it. I was when I came here, I was pretty sure that I would only stay for 1 year and then go back to grad school after a year. But like I love it so much here. I don't know. I can't be sure now. I might stay here for a long time. I don't know. Okay. It's too early for me to tell. Like I've only been here for a month and a half. All right. Charity Scott says, my bad. Yes, I was referring to the gender neutral pronouns. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that, but languages are always changing and you can't really predict what way they will go. Mateo says, why is the cover in fake IPA? Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. Like, what is that? That's not IPA. It might be like language. Yeah. He uses J as a affricate sound. That might be like, because in the book, he doesn't just talk about linguistics. He also talks about orthography. So it might be that he's talking about like the written language of some artificial language. Or maybe he just wanted a title that normal people would be able to read, as opposed to real IPA, which would just totally confuse everyone. Because he actually does have a section on the IPA in here, like vowel charts, and he has an IPA and like a phonetics / phonology section, and his understanding of the IPA actually is correct. So it's not like false information. All right, Rafa says, that book sounds great. Thanks for the recommendation. Yes, and he said, a friend also recommended In the Land of Invented Languages. Have you read that one? No, I've heard of it a lot, and I've always wanted to read it, but just never have. Vicky says, hi, I'm from Brazil. Oi! There's a lot of people from Brazil on tonight, I guess. Maybe it must be this time of day is good for Brazilians. I guess everyone's, finally back home after Friday night and getting in bed and just want to watch a live stream. Okay, Caleb Santos says, great tips. I have been doing that listening, reading. I know Stephen, his tip is great. Another polyglot that I really like is Stephen Kaufman. Inputs is the key. Yeah, Stephen Kaufman and Stephen Krashen, they're friends, so they have at least it seems like their philosophies are very similar. That's why Steve started Link, which is all dedicated to just input. Like 99% input. There's also like a tutoring option on Link, but it's mostly all just dedicated to listening and reading. So yeah, I'm enjoying Thailand. I think I bought, okay. I'm planning on doing another Esperanto live stream soon, which I haven't been really doing anything on my Esperanto channel lately. I bought all of these different Thai foods. So this is silkworm. Does it say it on there? Yeah, crispy silkworms. And like octopus flavored peas. Seaweed. Shrimp flavored seaweed. And then cuttlefish, like dried cuttlefish. I don't know what that is, but it looks like a squid. So I'm gonna make an Esperanto video trying out all these different Thai foods, which I'm pretty like adventurous with my foods and stuff, so I think I'll probably like them all. Actually, I did try the silkworms a long time ago, and they're just kind of plain. But I don't really remember what they taste like because it was a long time ago. Anyways, I've been thinking about doing an Esperanto video, just a video in Esperanto on my Esperanto channel, just trying them all out. The only problem is like I'm gonna have to do some research before I do that video because I don't know how to say seaweed. I don't know how to say silkworm. I don't know how to say octopus. Oh, actually I do. Is it pulpo? Or is that my Spanish coming in? I don't know how to say cuttlefish in Esperanto. So, yeah, I bought all these like strange foods like a couple of weeks ago, and they've just been sitting on my desk because I never got around to making it. But I'll probably do it soon. David, also, will you ever consider upload video in English? I think it would be cool to see how you, as such an avid language learner, teach. Yeah, I have that's how my channel started. I started off by creating videos teaching English because that's what I was an English teacher, and I just wanted to create like a video curriculum that I could send to my students on like certain topics or grammar points. And so yeah, if you go back to my first videos on my channel, they're all about teaching English and Spanish as well. Mateo says, Duolingo has failed us all. Yeah, why doesn't Duolingo, like, why isn't it mi fartas bone char mi havas silkworm oin? Whatever the word for silkworm is. Fresco, polpo, okay. Polpo posto, tuna. So how would you say octopus flavored peas or like shrimp flavored seaweed? I'm just gonna have to look up some of the stuff before I do my live stream. Maybe I'll do it today when I have time. Okay, Rafa says, I was about to say you were brave for planning on doing that video in Esperanto. I would also have no idea how to say many of those things in Esperanto. Yeah, like, I mean, really, I don't know what a cuttlefish is in English. So, you know, I'm just gonna have to struggle through it the same way I always struggle through my Esperanto videos. But actually, you know, it's like this, my Esperanto went through like a bizarrely change before NASC and after NASC. Because like if you watch my videos that I released before NASC, it was always just like, can I say this? Minasias, Vorto, Kio Vorto. And then afterwards, it's like, I'm still not necessarily fluent in Esperanto, but like, I can just talk and I can just spit stuff off. And sometimes I'll have to be like, I don't know how to say that. I don't know if it's a word, but I can just keep talking. Yeah, Wikipedia might be a good resource for that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's true. Wikipedia. What is a cuttlefish? Cuttlefish. An order of mollusk. Marine mollusks in the order Cepida. Okay, along with class Cephalopoda, like okay, class. All right, there's no Esperanto version of this page though. Esperanto is like, yeah, I use that as a translator, or I use Wikipedia as a translator more often than you would expect. Okay, there's no Edo article, or there's an Edo article, but not an Esperanto article for cuttlefish. Yeah, that's bizarre. It's like Rafa says, we'll let the Volapukistoi live, but idistoi mortigu lauplace. Okay, yeah, why is there an Edo article? Pulp gusta. Ah, okay. So pulp gusta and what's shrimp again? Shrimp. Let's see if I can find the answer before someone answers it. Shrimp. There's no Esperanto page for shrimp either. What in the world? Oh, screw me. Okay, I'm going to translate. Shrimp. Sali coco. Sali coco? Does that mean like a salt chicken? Sali coco? Shrimp. What prawn? Gamba. No, gamba. That's an adjective. That doesn't make sense. Sali coco. Well, anyways, yeah, I'll just do a little bit of research on Vortaro.net and stuff before I do it. Okay. Mateo says, unfortunately, my Esperanto seafood vocabulary is sorely lacking. Yeah. Well, you're not like ordering off the menu from Esperanto seafood restaurants all the time. Rafa says, I almost typed poop gusta, and that might not have been too off the mark. Yeah, you know. I mean, they look good. I've had like different like wasabi peas and stuff like this all here, and they all taste good. Oh, this one actually isn't. Okay, it looks like an octopus on there, but up here, this one also says cuttlefish flavored. But I assume cuttlefish and octopus probably taste more or less the same. Yep, salicoco is shrimp, but that's still not as weird sounding as forficulo. Forficulo, yeah. Yeah, that's a weird word. Salicoco. Does salicoco mean salty chicken or like saline chicken? Because, wait. Because salo is salt. So sali would be salty or to salt. Oh, wait, no. Sali. I'm questioning myself. That would be a verb. I don't know how you would make salt into a verb. Rafa, mi amagas ke la bildoj ĉe la C1 nivelo de la koero ekzameno eble temos pri malfruktoj. Marfruktoj. Oh yeah. Seafood is marfruktoj, fruit of the sea. Yeah. Mi imagas tion. Tamen. Or ankaŭ tamen. Anyways, yeah. So I'm going to try to keep doing Esperanto videos while I'm here. I'm mainly focusing on learning Thai. Like that's 90 with people in Esperanto on, you know, Discord or on Marco Polo, like once in a while. But all of my study is focused on Thai. I'm really enjoying it. Things are like starting to kind of come together and make sense now. I can have basic conversations, not much, but Thai is a really weird language because it's like so like telegraphic in a sense where you like in English you would say like I had gone to the store, but in Thai you just say go store. Because like pronouns are optional, tense is optional, you know, like possessives are optional. Like there's no articles, there's no gender, there's no plurals or singular. It's just like, you know, it's just like the bare bone words with no inflection at all. And which makes it easy because like in Spanish, the hard thing is learning 60 different verb conjugations with every single verb. And then, you know, there's patterns to most of it, but like almost every verb has at least one irregularity or some kind of stem changing like idiosyncrasy about it. So that makes it like, so in that sense, Thai is easy to learn, but also at the same time, it's hard to like understand. There's also a lot of compound words. So like, oh, what's an example? If you say, I can't think of any examples. There's like all these compound words that are kind of funny to me as an English speaker because we just have like separate word for them. Can't think of any examples right now. Maybe I'll think of some later if they come to me. Anyways, I have been streaming for almost an hour, and I have a finite number of gigabytes on my data plan. So I think I'm going to cut this live stream off here. Thank you to everyone who joined the live stream on Friday night, if you're in America, or Saturday morning, if you're here in Asia or Australia. Keep an eye out for more videos in the future, because I'm going to be trying to be more regular with that over the next coming weeks. So I'll see you then. Peace out.